Hang on a second. Is that better? Okay, after a coughing fit, here's my silly little haul. Let's just go through this, shall we? Unsweetened applesauce for the kiddo, and also a couple of oranges for the kiddo. She expressed that she wanted some oranges yesterday, and I thought I'd just go ahead and pick a couple up for her. Pineapple tidbits, and the green bell pepper and onion. Those are going to be for pineapple chicken quesadillas. This is a tried and true favorite from a HelloFresh meal, and I just am totally into recreating it. I like the pineapple with the chicken. I got some baby potatoes for roasting. I don't know what I'm going to have with it yet. Probably something from the freezer. And then I thought I got more than one russet potato. I don't know what my plan is for it. Probably mashed potatoes at some point. I sat there and I have so much in my freezer that I need to start consuming. So I'm going to probably make either kind of like a meatloaf or Salisbury steak. Sounds good. Vanilla, because I'm out, because I've been using it for the pumpkin cream cold brew. So I got more of that. Green beans, again, just like those potatoes, I like to roast them. Hopefully I can eat through this entire bag quickly, and if not, I'm just going to cook and have leftovers. Baking soda, because I needed it. Okay. Garbage bags and Ziploc bags and butter. Things that I was running out of. And I like this. They put a substitution sticker. I don't know if this is new or what, but they substituted. I got generic. I ordered generic, and I'm pretty sure this Dairy Pure, whatever brand that is more expensive than the generic they gave me at the generic price, which is totally fine. And then sugar, because I was out. Now, the two Ken's dressings, normally I don't like honey mustard, but for some reason I had something with honey mustard on it, and then I saw a YouTube, of course, somebody else has a marinade that they use these two dressings for, and I thought I'd try it. I've personally not done a lot of marinades for any chicken, so I thought this, I normally like a standard, just a grilled chicken, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, blah, blah, blah. I am going to try marinade. So that's what those two are for, and I kind of glanced over it, but that is also part of it. This is the Weber garlic and herb seasoning. I mean, I probably could figure this out on my own, but whatever. I need to put the groceries away. And it's time. I want that now. All kinds of stuff that I've already made. I don't need to make anything else. Crap, I need to get cheese. Yeah, I do. I keep saying, we'll see. I've rambled on for way too long. I'm gonna cut a whole bunch out of this. This is going to be a difficult video. All right, so this is one of the meals that I like to make whenever I am just feeling kind of nostalgic. This is Salisbury steak. So I'm taking some ground beef and I am seasoning it with salt and pepper and garlic and breadcrumbs and cracking an egg in that. It's basically like a teeny tiny meatloaf with gravy rather than a ketchup glaze or something like that. So I am mixing this by hand like crazy. I found that the more that you mix ground beef by hand, the more tender it is. So I'm just dividing this meat into 4 portions. I wasn't really sure how much I would be making, but it ended up being 4 different patties. And typically whenever you make Salisbury steak, you want to make these into kind of like an oval shape. So that's what I did. The next step is to go ahead and cook these mostly on the stovetop. I didn't put any fat down because I knew that the beef would render down a little bit. Plus, I was going to be cooking this in kind of like gravy. So you brown both sides of the meat. Hopefully you can flip them better than I can. This got cut out. I added in a can of beef stock and you just let that simmer a little bit. Now, this is my kitchen. I don't do onions and mushrooms, so that's why that's not there. It's in the recipe though. This is a cornstarch slurry, and you just basically whisk everything together so that it makes a thick brown gravy. And you can see that it kind of got a little bit lumpy, but I added some water just to make it a little bit thin. And then the recipe calls for a packet or 2 of brown gravy mix. That's just to give it a little bit more of an umami, meaty flavor. So I added that gravy mix in with some water, and then here I am splashing in a little bit of extra water just because I wanted it to thin down. Once that's done, you basically pour this gravy over the little steak patties, and then you bake it at 350 until everything is golden and bubbly. Green beans. I don't know what the deal is. Every time I make them from HelloFresh, they're delicious. If I make them and I get these green beans from Walmart, they just aren't good. I don't know why. They're really bitter. But I decided, you know, give it another try. Maybe it was just a one-off situation. But no. So here I am cutting up all these dang green beans into bite-sized portions, and then rinse them off, and I toss them with olive oil and salt and pepper, and I think I also added some garlic powder. Yep, there it is. Give it a good tossy toss, and then you splat it out onto a foil lined baking sheet. Stir, stir, stir to combine. And there's that baking sheet. Man, I am crazy about stirring, aren't I? Give it just a nice single layer and bake it until your heart's desire. I guess I might have overcooked it. With this, I also made a mashed potato in my grocery haul. I was planning on making 2 potatoes, but then I only ended up buying 1. So just 1 potato to mash. And who needs to see all of the steps? You boil potatoes, you mash them, you add whatever you want, and there it is. I topped my green beans with a little bit of Parmesan just for the heck of it, and ladled gravy on top of my mashed potatoes. It was delicious. Alright, the second meal for this week that I ended up doing was a recipe that I found on another YouTube account. Her name is Jessica L. Donahue. I think her YouTube is JL Donahue, and I will link her below. But I am starting off with roasted baby potatoes, and this is just like the green beans: olive oil, salt and pepper. Super duper basic. You roast them or bake them however you want to do it, just so they're nice and crisp on the outside and tender on the inside. They're delicious. I love potatoes, and I love making them like this. There's some garlic powder, and of course, like always, stir to combine like crazy. Splat it out onto a baking sheet, and I did solid sides down, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I have it in there. Nope. Okay. Broccoli and cheese. I was still feeling nostalgic. My mom used to make broccoli and cheese sauce a lot whenever I was a kid, and I was like, oh, I have some broccoli, so I'm gonna make some fresh broccoli and cheese. And I decided to do a bechamel rather than, you know, melted Velveeta, and it wasn't good. I didn't like it. Alright, so you didn't see this, but I did marinate my chicken in the 3 cheese Italian dressing and honey mustard, and then the Grill Mate seasoning that were in my grocery haul. I think I did a few things a little bit wrong here. Pan was probably too hot. I think my stove is a bit wonky, but whatever. It cooked the chicken and it splattered everywhere, and it was alright. Okay, back to the bechamel while the chicken is cooking. This was different. It was a mixture of milk with cornstarch, and then you add cheese, but then I added in some mustard just because it has a little bit of an enhanced flavor whenever you add just like a small dash of mustard. And that's just regular old yellow mustard. I didn't like this bechamel. Is it a bechamel? God only knows. I didn't like it. It ended up being too grainy. I should have just done a regular cheese sauce, you know, with a roux instead. You know, butter and flour. My broccoli was already cooked. It was left over from another meal, and so I was just adding that into, I didn't have to steam it or anything, so I just added into the cheese sauce, and it was all done. And there it is, potato wedges, broccoli and cheese, and it just doesn't look all that great, but it tasted okay. It did the job.